I'm the publisher and chief visionary officer at Martingale. Part of my superpower is seeing the future, so I've got this lovely cape of all the books that are upcoming from Martingale. You can check out my cape. I think if you're going to see the future, you also need some extra eyes to see things, so that's why I've got all 4 of my eyes trained on you. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We consider you to be our business partners. Hold on. I said this was like when you go driving down the street and there's that poor kid look like Uncle Sam at tax time, and you're like, thank God that's not my job. And here I am. Maybe I want to be Uncle Sam. All right, so today we have lots of exciting mini marvels to show you, and the superhero Moda All-Star designers who are going to show you not only their mini marvel quilt, but their superpower. The book is available now. It came out this month. It's $24.99 and 80 pages. I feel like my eyes are falling off. Bet you never heard that. Okay. So, you do not have to hold your applause, your raucous attention, your laughter, or your thrills as we embark on this mission. Now, not all of our superheroes could be here because, frankly, you can't get 15 superheroes in a room all at once. It's just too much power. So we've got some stand-in superheroes, and I want you to give them as much love and attention as you would give the regular superhero. And we'll just pretend that it's the person, okay? Can we all pretend? Yes. Ready to roll. All right. First off, as we kick it off, we say it's so small, it's so cute, it's Moda Mini Marvels. And our first all-star could not be here today because she's out saving the world. It's Sherry McConnell, but in her place, a superhero in her own right, you might know, the Ready Wrangler, Lisa Alexander. Now, Lisa's superpower, she said, I survived brain surgery. What's your sewing superpower? But Lisa is here to share with you Bright Sun, that is Sherry McConnell's mini marvel. As a designer, she's sweet as can be, but as a superhero, Sherry gets really steamed as the Iron Maven, a prime presser. And one of the things that we asked our superheroes was, if you had a mini mantra, 3 words or less, what would it be? Sherry's mini mantra, design, quilt, and repeat. She chose a cheerful variety of prints from her scrap basket or from a layer cake to make a sweet and simple mini quilt that will add some sunshine to any room, no matter the season. So the Ready Wrangler, ready to step in, and Lisa is responsible for curating this incredible collection. Look at my eyes, they won't see what I'm saying. Hold on. I'm blaming it on Houston humidity. You can't control all this hair. Okay, that seems almost inappropriate. I hope it wasn't. Okay, up next. Our next designer, Sandy Gervais, is off saving the great state of Iowa at a family event. But her stand-in, you might recognize him as superhero from Moda, Josh Dunn. That's right, looking stunning. Now, if Sandy were here, we'd say her reputation as an artist and designer is well known, but what's less commonly known is Sandy's superhero status as Pinky Scissorhands. That's right, with the wave of those marvelous hands, she's able to snip the dog ears off of a block and vaporize those tiny clipped off bits as though they never existed. No muss, no fuss. How's that for super? The blocks in her charming quilt combine patchwork and applique to resemble little bees buzzing around a blossom. That is Sandy's block, the bee's knees. All right, this lady you're going to know, she's the superhero, and she designed the quilt, Cabin Skein. Here she comes. A designer who wears many hats by day, Carrie's got a rosy outlook on the future, but what few know is that her sewing superpower is hindsight. That's right. Her superpower name is Baby Got Back Eyes, and she has super shoulda, woulda, coulda powers. That's great. You may have heard of a Gaggle of Geese, but this quilt, Cabin Skein, is named for geese in flight, which is also known as a skein. Leave it to Carrie to educate us a little as we learn to quilt. Delve into your scrap basket to make this show-stopping quilt featuring small versions of classic log cabin blocks and flying geese units. Thank you, Baby Got Back Eyes.
My second set of eyes can't see.
Because I was lasered. All right, next up, the one, the only superhero Aditya Sitar. Able to bring together sewing buddies with a sweeping glance around the globe, Aditya's superhero persona is a PhD, pretty happy designer, known as Dr. Altogether now. Make a sweet mini quilt that's big on romance. This adorable quilt comes together so quickly you'll want to make one for everyone you love. All together now. Oh, that's so sweet. And look, she's sharing things as she sachets down the aisle. Little heart templates. Thank you, Dr. Altogether now. Next up, here's a lady who spent some time making her superhero suit. It's Lynn Hagmeyer of Kansas Troubles Quilters. That might be the name by which you know Lynn best, but her super sewing buddies know her as Speedy Von Piecer, able to do fast-paced patchwork piecing. If Lynn had a 3-word mini mantra, it would be do better tomorrow. You set small churn dash blocks on point in this quick-to-make quilt. Lynn's clever technique called layered patchwork is a bit like raw edge applique. You'll have these cute, cozy blocks pieced in a flash. Thank you, Speedy Von Piecer. Next up, hold on. Who knew it was part comedy? Okay, butterfly kisses. It's a square, it's a triangle, it's a half square triangle. That's the chant of designer Pat Sloan when she's got her superhero suit on, known as the triangler. Sewing dozens of half square triangles in a single sewing session at a terrifically triumphant speed is a cinch for Pat. Pat's inspiration for this fun applique quilt came from the butterfly bush she planted next to her front porch. She's seen up to a dozen butterflies visiting it at once. Truly magical. And today she's sporting her designer triangular superpower cape with Moda Dottie in a classic superpower red. Fancy stuff there, triangular. You can't put that on my eyes, because we all know why. Okay, next up we have Zen Chic. This is Brigitte. A designer from Germany, Brigitte brings an international flair to her superhero powers as lightning finish. She's able to whip the binding on a finished quilt quicker than you can say, "Would you please stamp my passport?" And ultra-modern mini features interlocking rectangles to form an intriguing composition. The slate gray background perfectly complements the bright prints. Sashay down the aisle there, Miss Lightning Finish. If she had a 3-word mini mantra, it would be take your time. Aww. Lightning fast, take your time. She wants to give you first, I think. Okay, next up, another designer who wasn't able to make her superhero here. She's disguised as Doug Lecko, but it's really Vanessa Christensen, and her superhero moniker is Spinderella, able to spin from one project to the next in a flash. Do a spin for us, Doug, come on.
Work it.
Stitch a simple mini-made from three rows of flying geese using her ombre fabric to create a gradient effect. Thank you, Mr. Cinderella. Vanessa's mini mantra, chocolate will help. There's 3 important words, right? Okay, next up, a pink Christmas from none other than Anne Sutton. With her speedy applique skills and prolific pattern production, it may seem like Anne turns out twice as much as the average quilter, but it might be her superhero persona that deserves the kudos. Known as the multiplier, her superhero side is able to simultaneously sew on 2 machines at once, turning a molehill of merry patchwork into a mountain in no time. Create an adorable mini Christmas quilt in a pretty and unexpected pink palette. Wool and cotton appliques combined with embroidery stitches to lend a warm and cozy look to the snowy scene. One reason Anne says minis are fun to make, they're so cute. Who could argue? All right, I don't know if you need to put your glasses on to protect your eyes from this next pair, but here they come. I'm gonna put them. fact, they play well when they're designing fabric. This super sister duo is also known by their superhero names, Tidy Wave and the Tsunami Sweeper. Able to drown out disorganization and keep a sewing room awash in organization, they're a force of nature and a powerhouse pair. Does one of you actually have the quilt? Oh, yes. But I checked. Swirling pinwheels spin around the outer edges of this bright and happy design. This mini makes a festive table topper for celebrating the arrival of spring, a birthday, or any other occasion.
A colorway for your cakes.
Their three-word mantra, we're so behind. All right, next up, the fabulous, the infamous Lori Simpson. She may seem like a shy get-along gal by day, but the quantum quartermaster superhero within is able to command the perfect quarter-inch seam at all times and in all places. Her perfect piecing powers draw attention every time. 10 up. All right, combine red, white, and blue prints with little stars for a charming and patriotic mini quilt. Paper piece the star blocks for speed and precision. So I know that Lori's a Detroit Tigers fan, but she's adopted my Cubs for the World Series. And that's why her favorite three-word mini mantra would be, 3-run homer! Thank you, Lori. All right, I know you're going to know in a flash, because you're all sewing superheroes, that the next, here we go again, right? I can see my eyes looking at me. Never mind, this is made for a child, right? I got to get on the horn with IKEA. What all the extra eyes have. Okay, I know you're going to recognize that this next designer is not Camille Ross Kelly, but I want you to visualize that that is who is bringing out this next sewing superhero. None other than Mr. Kansas Troubles quilter. Robert Hagmeyer is being a great sport. It's all thimbles and blossoms for Camille until she puts her sewing skills into hyperdrive as her superhero self, the whirling dervish. Give us a whirl, would you? Do double time on whatever project she has in progress. This charming mini features simple strip piece blocks and orange peel appliques. You'll save time by using pre-cut 5-inch squares for the blocks. Wow. Take it on down the aisle, you whirling dervish, you. In her little bio, Camille shares in the book, one reason mini quilts are fun to make, you can display a whole bunch of them in your sewing room all together. The more the better. I need more walls. And I think all of us who've seen Camille's great mini walls on Instagram and Facebook would give that a big thumbs up. All right, here we go. She came a long way to be your superhero today. That's right, it's Jen Kingwell. It hardly seems fair that Australian designer Jen, whose local time is perpetually 16 hours ahead of the nearest US time zone, could get the jump on what's ahead for all of us. But in fact, her superhero side is able to do just that. As Futurama Mama, she's able to see well into the future. She's been there and done that before the rest of us are even up and out of bed. Take it on down the aisle, Futurama Mama. Her bright and colorful quilt is fun to stitch using a clever quilt-as-you-go technique, all done by hand as Jen always does, to piece the random raw edge log cabin blocks. You'll love it. Now, it's not often, but every now and then the TSA interrupts a superhero's super sewing skill. And I have to say, our next presenter was done in by the TSA because she had her superhero starch pack packed and ready to go. And they took it away from her, even though the starch cans were almost empty. So, some say it takes a village, but designer Lisa simply needs a case of cans for her superhero side to get the job done. Spray starch cans, people. That is. As the superhero starch madness, she gets her patchwork pieces precisely put together with nary a slip. These are stiff pieces of fabric that sew together precisely. And if she had her starch pack here, she'd spray it all over the room. That's right, it'd be right there. So, Make a beautiful mini quilt adorned with wool appliques of swirling vines and flowers. Finish your garden with hand embroidery and lovely pearl cotton threads for gorgeous texture and dimension. So starch, you just pass those out as you walk down the aisle. You can all have a little starch's magic.
Even flannel.
There you go. Last, but certainly not least, our last marvel and our last superhero, Captain Cleaner-Upper, Betsy Chutchian. Captain Cleaner-Upper is the guise under which Betsy hangs her superhero star. The younger sibling of Neat Freakly, she'll sequentially sort your scraps before your rotary cutter is closed. If she had a 3-word mini mantra, it would be, more is better. Yahoo! Let's say that about fabric and books and everything else we love. The timeless combination of blue, cream, and brown creates an elegant medallion quilt featuring a sawtooth star block surrounded by flying geese and broken dishes border. Thank you, Captain Cleaner-Upper.